Alex and Talon's wedding on this amazing day. Furthermore, it's not only an amazing day, but a gorgeous piece of land where Talon and Alex will build their, there you go, you can copyright that one, will build their lives and their future together on the grounds of the Thompson Cattle Company. Let's have a big hand for the Thompson Cattle Company. I want to thank a few people who have worked hard to make this event the special event that it is, and I want to give a shout out to Cassidy, Brianna, and their team. They're there in the back. Thank you very much. A really big part of the planning and details for today was Alex's idea and vision. She started her wedding planning album when she was maybe 7? Maybe 6. 6. But thank goodness for Talon and Trish's help and counsel and execution of Alex's wonderful vision. I also want to thank my dear friend Jimmy Lucarelli for a lot of things. Were it not for Jimmy, we would not be here today. Full stop. Because of Jimmy, Alex developed a lifelong love for Telluride. Because of that lifelong love, she moved here after college. After, according to Jimmy, leaving a small trail of broken-hearted young men in her path, she met Talon. Early on, Jimmy told me, maybe 2 minutes, this may be the one, and here we are. You got a good eye for talent, Jimmy. Many thanks for being the guy that you are, the friend that you are, and the friend that you've been to our family. And apparently you have a very good eye for true love. So thank you very much, Jimmy. Okay, that's my boy. I'm giving the speech, I'm giving him a shout out, and he's not here. Hopefully somebody got that. He's doing his best work right now, so. Well, you know, I gotta read this all over again, okay? Anyway, nice job, Jimmy, all in all. That's my boy. Anyway, this may be soapy or sappy, but I've actually been thinking about this day from the moment Alex was born. I've thought about what to say at Alex's wedding on and off for 27 years. That's the truth. Well, here we are, and here I am. For those of you who may not know Alex very well, let me describe her through a proud father's eyes. From the time she was very little, Alex always wanted to be in the front of our boat. Didn't matter how rough the water was, she wanted to be right in the bow of the boat. She wanted to go full speed all the time. If I could count the number of times Alex would say faster or hit it, I couldn't count that high. Even after the time I buried the bow of the boat, of our little motorboat, in a big wave, and her head slammed forward and knocked her 2 front teeth out on the railing of the boat. Remember that? Yeah. She cried a bit, and her older brother Andy told me Mom was going to kill me. But candidly, that was not the first time nor the last time that my kids told me something like that in what I call fun but stupid adventures with Dad. But that didn't stop Alex at all. Not soon thereafter, she was right back up front, always telling me to go faster. Jump ahead to moving out to Western Colorado. 3 weeks after graduating college, Alex and I packed up her car and drove out here. She's been here ever since. That was tough for Tricia and I, with Andy already in the Army and far from home. Alex coming out here was tough, but we knew it meant a lot to her, and it was the right thing for her. She knew where she wanted to be, And that took some guts for a young woman to move 2,000 miles from home. Apparently, she knew what she was doing because it led us here to this day. I can't say exactly when Talon and Alex met, but I know horses were involved. How could it be otherwise? Tricia got Alex on a horse at age 2, and the lifelong love for horses was on. It never slowed or stopped. Alex started riding 100 jumpers, but somewhere along the way in college, she decided that Western and quarter horses were her preference. That's Alex, setting her own path, making her own decisions. She thinks about what she's doing, and when she wants it, she makes it happen. Sometime after moving out here, Alex bought Mongo, who is, I noticed the other day, the largest horse I've ever seen. Sometime after Mongo arrived on the scene, I began to notice that her phone was spending a lot of time in Norwood through my family app on my telephone. She was spending a lot of time. Sometimes the phone didn't go home at night. But I digress. That's about when Jimmy Lucarelli began to tell me about Talon. What a person of high character, high integrity, hardworking, and extremely trustworthy he was. That's when Jimmy indicated Talon might be the one. And by far the best one that Alex had ever dated. And once again, here we are. So, let me tell you my perception of Talon. Kind, even-keeled, thoughtful, patient. It's a good thing he's patient because he's going to need a lot of patience. But most important, he loves Alex very much. He's the kind of guy that any father would want to marry his daughter. I liked Talon from the start, but when he called me to formally ask me for Alex's hand in marriage, I could not have been more impressed. Tricia and I cannot be happier for Alex. Happy to have Talon become part of our family. One quick story about Talon, and some of you have heard it before, and it goes to show the kind of guy that he is. One of my hobbies, and I probably have too many, is that I like to catch very large fish, often well offshore. When Talon came to visit us the summer of 22, I found out he'd never seen the ocean before. And for those of us in Newport, that's a hard concept to get your head around. But in fact, he'd never seen the ocean before. Some of my friends thought if I took him out fishing, he'd get seasick. I thought, this guy spends all day on a saddle on a horse. He's not going to get seasick. Plus, he's tough as nails, I could tell. So we went out fishing 35 miles offshore. Within minutes of putting the line in the water, we had on a 450-pound tuna, and an hour later, Talon had it in the boat. No problem, like he'd been doing it all his life. He was a natural. It was fun to have him on a boat, and I think that was your second time on a boat. Yeah, the first time was a trip out to Chatham, so he took to it like a duck to water. Talon, we're so delighted to have you become part of the family. It really means a lot to us, and we couldn't be any luckier. So now for the really savvy part. What brought us here today? Love. Alex and Talon's love for one another. Our love, all of us, for Talon and Alex. Their love for us and wanting us to share their special day with them and all of us. Alex and Talon honor their love of one another by committing to one another forevermore. What could be more special? I thought a lot about fatherly advice I should give today, from father to daughter, from father to newlyweds, but I'm going to keep it simple. It's a lesson I've learned, and I'm glad I learned it, though I wish I'd learned it sooner. Marriage is not easy. Life will throw challenges in your path. The types of challenges will be as numerous as in possibility and variety as there are blades of grass in this field. When those challenges come, turn towards one another for support. turn towards each other to figure things out. Never turn away from one another. Even in the most difficult of times of disagreements, turn towards each other and listen to one another. Alex and I had a wonderful father-daughter chat this morning. We talked about how much truth there is in the old cliches. Well, here is one more I hope you always remember, especially in the most trying of times. It's better to understand than to be understood. If you both work hard at understanding each other, it may not be easy at times, but you will build bonds the likes of which many people can only dream of, and you will both be understood. That starts with turning to each other and listening. Don't turn away from one another. Always turn towards one another, always and everywhere. And everybody here commits to helping you in any time you need us. Finally, I almost made it. I stand here. Hello. Finally, I stand here today in front of all of you, humbled and honored to share this day with you, with the love of my life, the person who, only other than Alex and Andy, that I can remember the very first time I saw my wife Tricia. Thank you, Spudsy. Now, let us raise a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Talon Thompson.